Yarn sensation. Just click on my yarn lady or click the subscribe button. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Yarn Sensation. I'm so happy that you are here today with me. And what we have is this beautiful little teacup with a saucer, and the saucer is attached to the teacup. And when we make it, you'll be making it all in one. Really quick to make, really easy to make. And it's mainly just double crochets and chain stitches. And then what you can do is you can feel free to decorate it. You can use beads, flowers, it's just so many things you can choose from to make this become so festive. And it's great for many things. You can use it for table decor, make some for little girls and they can use them for tea time. Just remind them that they cannot pour liquid into it. And also great for Mother's Day. Really cute. You can do so much with it for Mother's Day. And for me also, it's just one of my collection that I'll place on the shelf and have to look back at throughout the years. So let's get started. Okay, to get started, you will need your yarn, and I will be using I Love This yarn and a sport weight. You can choose any yarn that you choose as long as it's sport weight, and the color number and name will be 230 pink. And like I said, choose the color that you prefer. And once you have that, you will need your yarn needle, a pair of scissors, and I will be using a 4-point crochet hook. Okay, to get started, you will need 2 strands of yarn. You want to start with your slip knot. And the first thing that we will be making will be our teacup. And you want to chain 6. You want to join with a slip stitch into that first chain that you made. Once you have that, you just want to make a double crochet into the center, and the center is what we created when we did our join. Next, you want to place a total of 15 double crochets into that same center, and we will meet back. Okay, once you have your 16 double crochets into the center, and I am not carrying my yarn tail, we will use it at the end to close the center. The next thing you want to do is slip stitch into that first double crochet that you made, and you will chain 2. Next, you will place 1 double crochet into that same stitch. Next, you want to place 2 double crochets into each stitch around, and we will meet back at your chain 2. Okay, once you get back around to your chain 2, you just want to join into that chain 2. You want to chain 2. You will place a double crochet into that same stitch as your chain 2. Next, you want to place 1 double crochet into that next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into each stitch around back to your chain 2, and we will meet back. Okay, at this point your work will curve, So the next thing you want to do, once you have completed your double crochets around, you want to join into that chain 2. You want to chain 2, 1, 2, and you will be repeating row 3 by placing 1 double crochet into the same stitch as your chain 2. And you just want to continue around, placing 1 double crochet in each stitch, and when you get back to your chain 2, you want to join into that chain 2, then you will chain 2, and you will repeat the same for the next row, and that will be placing your double crochet into the same stitch as your chain 2, and just repeat your double crochets around. So you will be repeating a total of 2 rows, and those 2 rows will be your chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch, and double crochet in each stitch around, and we will meet back at the end of round 5. Okay, I have completed rows 3, 4, and 5, and I'm back to my chain 2, and I just want to join into that chain 2, and I want to chain 1. I want to place 1 single crochet into that same stitch as my chain 1, and I want to place 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then just place 1 single crochet in each stitch back around to your chain 1, and we will meet back there. Okay, I am back around, so the next thing you will do is join into that chain 1. You want to chain 1. You will cut your yarn, and you want to weave your tail into the wrong side. And don't forget, at the bottom, you want to pull this tail to close that center and weave in this tail as well, and we will meet back. Okay, once you have weaved in your tails, the next thing you want to do is turn your work, and you should be seeing the right side of your work. And this is the cup. So the next thing we will do is crochet the saucer around the bottom, and then we will add our handle at the end. Okay, next you should be looking at the bottom of your cup, and what you will do is place your hook. As you can see, your center at the bottom, and then this will be that first row, and it ends right here, and then this is your second row. So right here between rows 1 and 2, you want to place your hook, and you just want to place it beneath one of your stitches. So you just want to find one of your holes, and that'll be where one of your double crochets is at, and then you want to just go beneath that double crochet, so the double crochet is sitting on top of your hook, and you want to join your yarn at this point. Just pull your yarn beneath, and once you have your yarn, you just want to join it. Once you have your yarn joined, you just want to chain 2, 1, 2. Once you chain 2, you want to go to your next double crochet, and you will follow the same steps and complete a double crochet. And you will just repeat those steps around, and you will come back to your chain 2 once you complete your double crochets, and we will meet back. Okay, once you complete your double crochets around, you will have a total of 16 double crochets, and you will have your chain 2, and you want to join into that chain 2 with your slip stitch. Once you join, you want to chain 1. You will place a single crochet into the same stitch as your chain 1, and then you want to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch and 2 single crochets into each stitch around, and you just want to continue back to your chain 1, and we will meet back there. Okay, once you made it back around, you need to join into your chain 1. Then you will just turn your work like you'll be working on the opposite side, and you want to chain 2. Okay, and the reason we did that spin, so you will be able to see the right side of your work once you complete your cup. Next, you want to place 1 double crochet into that same stitch as your chain 2. In the next stitch, you will complete 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, 2 double crochets. In the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And in the next stitch, 2 double crochets. And you will repeat the pattern. So in the next stitch will be 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochet, and you just want to repeat that around back to your chain 2, and we will meet back. Okay, once you make it back round, you want to join into that beginning chain 2. You want to chain 2. You will place a double crochet into the same stitch as your chain 2. Oops, losing my stitches. Next, you want to place 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And you will be repeating this pattern as well. So in the next stitch will be 1 double crochet, in the next stitch 1 double crochet, in the next stitch you want 2 double crochets, and then you want to repeat around. So 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 2 double crochets, and just repeat this pattern around back to your beginning chain 2. You just want to repeat around, and once you get back to your chain 2, we will meet at this point. Okay, once you made it back around, you just want to join in your chain 2. And this is the fun part. We will start creating our loops around, and we have 2 rows of loops, and once we complete that last row of loop, we will complete our handle on the cup. Okay, next you want to chain 6. You will skip the next stitch, and that's a double crochet, and you want to join into the next stitch, and you join with a slip stitch, and then you want to chain 6 again. you want to skip the next stitch and join in the next stitch. And you just want to repeat that pattern around back to your beginning chain 6, and we will meet there. Okay, when you get back around, you will see your beginning chain 6, and that same stitch that it is coming out of, you will be completing your last slip stitch here. So you just chain 6, and remember, skip the next stitch and slip stitch into that same stitch as your beginning chain 6. And I have my cup just flattened so that I can crochet a little better around as I go. And don't worry if you get back to this point and you're missing a stitch, it will still work out. You can still chain your 6 and just join into that same spot. It will be fine. No need to take your work apart to redo it. This is your little teacup and saucer, so it will work out just fine. So for our next row and our last row, we will be creating loops as well. So you want to chain 8 this time. And once you have 8, you will just slip stitch around your chain 6. So you just want to wrap your hook around that loop and pull up and just pull your yarn through like that. And that starts our next row. So you just want to chain 8, and you just wrap your yarn around that next loop, pull up a loop, and just pull through the loop on your hook. And you just want to repeat that pattern back around, and we will meet at our beginning chain 8. Okay, once you make it back to your beginning chain 8 and you completed your last chain 8 coming around, you just want to join right as we did before. Just join around that chain 8, pull your yarn through. You want to chain 1, you will cut your yarn, weave in your tail, and I have a tail here as well when I join my yarn to the bottom of the cup, and I will weave that in as well. And then we will meet back to put our handle on our cup. Okay everyone, so we have really been working. We created our teacup, we did the saucer beneath, so what's left is the handle, and you would want to attach your handle on the side where your seam is. So your seam on the cup would be where we did our beginning chain 2s, and you will place your handle on that side. Okay, so you just want to count up 1, 2, and we will be joining our yarn between rows 2 and 3. And remember, just keep it in a line because we will attach it at the top up here. So you just want that line right here, and that way your handle will be in, just be up and down. You don't want it to attach here and then attach over here. You have a curve handle. So once you have your yarn, remember we're still using our 2 strands of yarn, and you just want to join it. And once you have it secured, if you want, you can tie. You can make a little knot in this if you need. And next you want to chain 12. Once you have 12, remember, follow your line, and you just will attach it up top. Just join with a slip stitch. Once you have that, you can turn it to the side if that will help. You can chain 1. And what you will do is place a total of 12 single crochets around this chain of 12. So the only thing you're doing is wrapping your hook around your chain and complete a single crochet. And you just want to do 11 more. And once you complete that 11 single crochet, we will meet back. I have completed my 12 single crochets around my chain of 12. So the next thing you want to do is just do a slip stitch in the same space where you began your chain of 12. Once you do that, you just want to chain 1. Okay, once you chain 1, you want to cut your tail. Pull your yarn through. You want to secure both of these tails together. Two knots will be fine. And once you complete that, you can weave in these 2 tails, weave them inside of your cup, and we will meet back. So we did it. Yes, we created our teacup and saucer, and it's all in one. So cute, and it doesn't take long to make it. And I used the 2 strands, you know, to just give it that stand-up appeal. And if I haven't tried it with, you know, using just the 1 strand, but you can always use 4-ply as well, and it should do the same durability. But if not, you can always block it and it'll stand as well. And like I said, you can, you know, add flowers to it. You can place beads around it. You can, you know, do so much with this area. You can also decorate the edges with little beads. You can attach that. You know, it'll just be great, you know, to also see some of the creations that you make. And you can always post your photos to my Facebook page. I would love to see your little teacup. And I really appreciate you guys for spending a little time with Yarn Sensation today. And thank you.